nations clash and vote. Power shifts like desert sands. Change shapes our world now. Welcome to AI News Brew's Week in Review for May 4th, 2025. I'm your host, bringing you comprehensive coverage of the week's most significant developments from around the globe. In today's coverage, we'll explore the mounting tensions between India and Pakistan, analyze pivotal election results from Canada and Australia, and examine Russia's ongoing actions in Ukraine. We'll also delve into domestic U.S. policy shifts under the Trump administration and assess the latest economic indicators that are shaping global markets. Stay with us as we break down these complex stories and their far-reaching implications for our interconnected world. The tensions between India and Pakistan have reached a critical point following a devastating terror attack in Pahalgam, Kashmir on April 22nd. The attack, which claimed 26 lives and injured 17 others, primarily targeted tourists visiting the region, immediately triggering a series of diplomatic and economic measures between the two nuclear-armed nations. India swiftly responded by suspending the historic Indus Waters Treaty of 1960, a cornerstone agreement that has governed water sharing between the two countries for over 6 decades. The situation further deteriorated when Pakistan closed its airspace to Indian Airlines on April 25th, citing security concerns, followed by India's reciprocal action 5 days later, implementing an airspace closure until May 23rd. The economic ramifications of these decisions have been substantial, with Air India alone projecting potential losses of $600 million due to necessary flight rerouting and increased fuel consumption. The international community has responded with growing concern about regional stability, prompting U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio to engage in active diplomatic efforts to de-escalate the situation. Adding to the complexity of the crisis, the Pakistan Army has issued a warning of a sure and decisive response to any Indian aggression, while Japan's Speaker Nukaga Fukushiro has publicly pledged support to India in its fight against terrorism. The dispute over Kashmir, a territory claimed by both nations, continues to be at the heart of these escalating tensions, raising serious concerns about the potential for further deterioration in bilateral relations between these nuclear-capable neighbors. In a remarkable political turnaround, Canada's Liberal Party, led by Mark Carney, has secured an unprecedented 4th term in office. The victory comes as a stunning development after the party faced a seemingly insurmountable 25-point deficit earlier this year. What makes this win particularly noteworthy is how mounting tensions with the United States actually worked in the Liberals' favor, as Canadian voters appeared to rally behind Carney's measured approach to international relations. The new minority government will face immediate challenges in managing the delicate diplomatic balance with their southern neighbor, while maintaining Canada's increasingly independent global stance. Meanwhile, Australia's political landscape has undergone a seismic shift as Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's Labour Party achieved what many are calling a bloodbath victory in their federal election. The win was particularly striking in traditionally conservative strongholds, including the Liberal seat of Bennelong, which fell to Labour despite intense last-minute campaigning by the opposition. As this political drama unfolds in the Pacific, Romania prepares for a crucial presidential election rerun, following the annulment of their previous vote due to alleged violations and suspected Russian interference. With 11 candidates vying for leadership, including prominent far-right nationalist George Simeon, the outcome could significantly reshape Romania's position within the European Union and broader regional politics. In a week marked by contradictory signals from Moscow, Russian President Vladimir Putin declared there was no current need for nuclear weapons in Ukraine, while simultaneously authorizing drone strikes that injured nearly 50 civilians, including an 11-year-old child, in Kharkiv. This stark contrast comes as Russia announced a 72-hour ceasefire for World War II Victory Day commemorations, a move that Ukraine dismissed as insufficient, instead backing U.S. President Trump's proposal for a more substantial 30-day pause in hostilities. The timing is particularly noteworthy as it coincides with the recent signing of a historic U.S. Ukraine economic agreement, which establishes a reconstruction fund and resource access framework. Meanwhile, European financial institutions are tightening their grip on Russian assets, with Euroclear moving to redistribute $3 billion in frozen funds to Western investors. The U.S. is also finalizing a new sanctions package targeting Gazprom and major Russian banking entities, though it still awaits President Trump's final approval. These developments unfold against a backdrop of escalating civilian casualties, with March 2025 alone seeing 164 deaths and 910 wounded in Ukrainian territories. In a week marked by significant domestic developments, the Trump administration continues to reshape American policy across multiple fronts. The recently unveiled 2026 budget proposal has drawn attention for its stark priorities, seeking an unprecedented $1 trillion for defense spending, while implementing deep cuts to social programs. This comes as various health tracking programs face elimination, impacting the nation's ability to monitor everything from workplace injuries to youth smoking rates. The administration's focus on immigration has intensified with the launch of a comprehensive review targeting 450,000 migrant children who entered during the Biden presidency. This sweeping initiative involves home visits and interviews conducted by Homeland Security and FBI agents, with controversial measures including DNA testing in certain cases. The review has already generated significant debate, with immigrant advocates raising concerns about privacy and potential deportation risks. In a notable administration shuffle, Secretary of State Marco Rubio has assumed an additional role as National Security Advisor, becoming only the second person in U.S. history after Henry Kissinger to hold both positions simultaneously. This consolidation of power comes at a critical time, as the administration grapples with multiple foreign policy challenges, including postponed nuclear talks with Iran and growing tensions with Germany over its recent political decisions. Meanwhile, the administration's push to end federal funding for National Public Radio and the Public Broadcasting Service has sparked intense debate about the future of public media in America, potentially threatening a century-old institution that serves millions of Americans weekly with local news and emergency information. In economic news, the U.S. economy contracted 0.3% in the first quarter of 2025, marking the first decline in 3 years. This contraction comes amid uncertainty surrounding Trump's tariff policies, with businesses canceling orders from China and postponing expansion plans. Wall Street has shown resilience, however, recovering from early losses in volatile trading. As we reflect on this week's events, it's worth noting that even amid challenging headlines, we're seeing glimpses of hope and resilience in our global community. Putin's statement eschewing nuclear weapons in Ukraine marks a potential step back from escalation, while Australia's peaceful, democratic transition, despite heated rhetoric, demonstrates the enduring strength of democratic institutions. The emergence of new political voices and coalitions, from unexpected alliances in the Democratic Party to evolving international partnerships, reminds us that change, while sometimes unsettling, often brings fresh perspectives and solutions. While we face serious challenges, from constitutional debates to social justice concerns, history shows us that periods of tension often precede meaningful progress. As we navigate these complex times, it's worth remembering that humanity has faced and overcome equally daunting challenges before, finding ways to adapt, grow, and move forward together. As we wrap up this week's review, I want to share an exciting milestone with our listeners. AI News Brew is approaching its second anniversary, having launched our first news feeds on May 21, 2023. What began as a focused effort to deliver objective reporting has blossomed into something truly remarkable. This journey has been possible thanks to our grassroots community of truth seekers and supporters who share our commitment to factual, unbiased journalism. As we continue to grow and evolve, your feedback and support remain vital to our mission. If you value independent research and objective reporting, please consider becoming a sustaining member through our Patreon or website. From all of us at AI News Brew, thank you for being part of our story. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged.